What I liked about David is that he's 6'4", he's a tall guy, so definitely fits the Superman superhero mold. Look at those striking, piercing blue eyes that David has. They're blazing at me, okay? From behind. Same thing about Rachel too. But David's got that Superman, those eyes, man, and that matters. What's going on, guys? Jim Alexander here with Real Talker, and news is out. The cat's out of the bag. It's officially announced and confirmed by James Gunn that the next Clark Kent slash Superman and Lois Lane are right behind me, right there. David Cornsweet and Rachel Brosnahan are the new and finally officially selected actors to continue the legacy in Superman Legacy. So if you've been following me here on Real Talker, watching some of the videos, you've seen my different reactions and takes every time there's some sort of a green screen test or a casting announcement. It's now official, and this is who it is. So the news kind of came as it was going to be reported initially, that they were supposed to have the final kind of screen test after Father's Day. So now we are heading into the final weekend of June, and it's already official. So the Hollywood Reporter came out with the article, and James Gunn confirmed it, saying it's accurate and that they're both wonderful actors and also great people. So he mentioned that in the tweet or something along those lines. But the big news is, yes, it's official. These two, so my immediate reaction to it right now, kind of raw and fresh as the news just dropped, is that these two are kind of the front runners for a while now. I know it came down sort of to the last casting notice that we got sort of for the green screen. It was Tom Brittney, wasn't a fan. David Cornsweet and Nicholas Hoult, they were kind of mentioned. Obviously, for those of you who've been following me, I've been a big fan of Pearson Faudet as one of the, runners in this race. And on the female side for Lois Lane, it's been Rachel Brosnahan and Emma Mackey and Phoebe Devore. I always screw up her name. I'm glad she wasn't cast for that reason. I don't have to constantly butcher it. But those were kind of the front runners for these roles. And with David Cornsweet always lurking as that favorite, and Rachel also from the women's side. And those are the picks. So it's official now. So they went sort of with the favorites that everyone was talking about, and it's over. The search is over. Now the news is that we're going to be tracking filming, production, all that good stuff that's coming up next. So what are my reactions? Okay, immediate reaction is that I am sort of bummed a bit that it wasn't Pearson Faudet. That was my favorite personally. But I definitely warmed up to David Cornsweet. He was kind of my number two from the list of choices there. I was not a fan of Tom Brittney. Didn't look the part. Just nothing about him gave me a vibe about Superman. Nicholas Hoult, I couldn't go with that. For maybe it's just because he's been in so many movies, sort of a household name. He's done Beast in X-Men. I don't know, something about Nicholas Holt's look didn't really scream Superman. And as far as the girl side here for Lois Lane, wasn't really feeling Emma Mackey, and Phoebe also. Just something was, as you will go back and see in my last videos, I mentioned just something wasn't clicking there. But Rachel was my favorite out of the selected cast that was in the running there. I just liked her experience. Obviously, she's done tremendous work on the Marvelous Miss Maisel and also House of Cards, so she's got the stability there. She's not a huge household name. I feel like Nicholas Hoult is more better known, more so than Rachel Brosnahan. Obviously, fans of Marvelous Miss Maisel will disagree, but she's sort of a niche famous in that way, especially through her couple shows that she's done that kind of been big. But I like the look. Like, look at them; they're right behind me there. I'm hanging out with them. They do look the part. The only question now about David Corenswet, everyone's going to be doing analysis and breakdowns, how they look, how they compare. What I liked about David is that he's 6'4", he's a tall guy, so definitely fits the Superman superhero mold. Look at those striking, piercing blue eyes that David has. They're blazing at me, okay? From behind. Same thing about Rachel too. But David's got that Superman, those eyes, man, and that matters. And the look too. Obviously, you can shave off that beard, and it's gonna be. He does have a resemblance to Henry Cavill too. I'd say so in a way. He's a Juilliard grad, so there's that comparison to Christopher Reeve. For those that will be kind of digging deeper into it, so there's that. He's definitely a well-trained actor. And if we're still sticking on the physical thing, yeah, the look, the chiseled sort of, face, it all makes sense here. He's a good-looking guy, no question, and it's got that Superman striking look about him. So there's that for sure. Out of all I could make a case for Pearson Folday, who's also very chiseled and kind of got that superhero jaw and face. But David also falls in that category too. The only thing about him is you can see he's a little bit slender from the looks of it. Easy way to go around that. You can definitely just bulk up and have him, on that superhero regiment, and that shouldn't be a problem. So not an issue for me for him to gain muscle and kind of bulk up. But otherwise, I think it's an interesting choice. I'm okay with it. I'm actually good with it, especially since the politician, that's what he's known for. Also, Pearl, when it comes to recent sort of films that had that sort of cult following, not necessarily mainstream, but fans of cinema and horror really enjoyed Pearl. So he was in that too. So sort of a quiet name also, for sure, more on the underrated side and unknown side, especially if you compare it to a Nicholas Hoult. So that's a good thing, I think. It gives me that feel of a Hugh Jackman sort of actor here. Hugh Jackman was fairly unknown when he was cast as Wolverine, and people were hating on it. I have that sort of similar feeling here about David. So overall, I'm good with it. Thumbs up. Personally, Pearson Folday would have definitely gotten me excited just because it was my choice all along, and I just liked something about him. But David Corenswet, I understand the choice, and not a bad one at all. Rachel, like I kind of mentioned already, she's definitely, I think, more famous of the two between her and David. But I think she's ready for that sort of breakout role. This is her breakout role for sure. I mean, it'll be a breakout for both of them. They're going to be major stars after this. But A-listers probably, this is the sort of thing that superhero movies like Superman will do. But she's going to be absolutely an A-lister after this film, and I really like this role for her. I think it's at the right time. She has the look too. I could totally see her as Lois Lane, no question about it. I root for her. She's a Milwaukee gal, Midwestern gal. So me being from the Midwest, it's we root for our own. And here's another thing here that people will actually comment on for sure and been talking about. They're both American. We've gotten used to our superheroes being British, especially Superman always has this iconic Americana about him. Not that I still feel the best Superman to me was Henry Cavill, and he was British, so it's not really, it's just the type of actor and the look, that's what really matters. But for the purists out there of Superman, hey, David's from Pennsylvania, so that makes sense. It's very American. in that context too. So Rachel and David, both Americans from here. Not one of them is British, even though everyone else seemed to be a British contending for this role besides them. So they went to two Americans. So for all of you Superman pures there that we need an American to play Superman and Lois, you got it. I'd be fine as long as if it was a Brit or anyone else, as long as they could play the role well and fit into it. But this is exciting news. This is finally revealed. I'm glad it's been revealed and we're kind of not strung along. I'm sure it was a thorough casting process, but I feel at the end they got two really interesting, good actors, and I think they were made the right choice. You know, especially based on the appearance, look wise. I'm cool with it. I'm happy about it. I feel like this was a good combination. Now, had we gotten one or the other, it'd be interesting to see what the reaction would have been. I think this was the best pairing, not only because of the American thing. I really don't think that matters that much, but the look wise for me, I think these two were the best pairing. Like, I'm not sure if you did David and Emma Mackey, how that would have worked, or Rachel with Pierce Day. I think that could have been a nice combo there, but I'm biased. Otherwise, I don't know. Tom Brittany. Ugh, nothing against Tom Brittany. I don't know much about him, but I just didn't like that casting at all. Potential choice. That would. I might be screwing that up a little bit. And David Cornsweat. It's it. Wow. It's fun. And I have a smile on my face because I'm glad that we are getting ready to get this movie done. And before you know it, it's going to be 2025 and Superman Legacy is going to be springing into theaters. And that'll be the big debut, really, for James Gunn's new DC universe. So we just wrapped up the previous one with Flash not going out with a bang, kind of, drizzling away. I think people are just ready more for the new interpretation of James Gunn's DC universe, and these two are at the forefront who will be kind of leading the charge into this new era. And I think it's two interesting actors. And before I go, age-wise, I know on a previous video I did, I screwed up ages for the Lois Lane casting, with Rachel and everyone else. I thought they were different age. I just screwed up because there's a lot of people with a lot of different ages. But Rachel's 32, going on 33 very soon in the next month. And David is 29, going on 30. So I think age-wise, pretty appropriate. 3-year age gap doesn't make a difference. They look the part. They are still younger too. So we're talking about fresh early 30s right here, especially in David's case, about to be 30. And they both have birthdays in July. So we're literally in the next couple of weeks, both of them will be celebrating birthdays. And I'm sure it's going to be extra special, knowing that they've been cast in these iconic roles. So age-wise, also pretty good for the future of the franchise and these characters. We can definitely get multiple films and without them, quote unquote, aging out, so there's a run here. And you didn't want someone too young too, especially for the Superman they're trying to do here. This is a perfect age. I think early 30s, it's not too young, definitely not too old. I think they got the ages of these actors right too by the casting here. So exciting news. And there's going to be more, I'm sure, every day now that this is out there. So in the meantime, you know where to come for instant reactions. Real Talkers a place. So going. So appreciate all the subscriptions and leave a like, thumbs up if you like this reaction video that I just did here, and comment. I like interacting, like hearing different thoughts. The previous post had some really good, interesting takes, even made me sort of think twice about certain things. So make sure to comment also underneath. And That's it for now. You can follow me on social media at the Jim Alexander. That's on TikTok, Instagram, and Twitter, and also at the Real Talker. So there's it. There's the news. Boy, they both look in this picture like they're really serious, and they just Rachel's got that little smirk there by her, and David just steel-eyed, laser focused on that Superman role, which they both got. He got Superman, she got Lois, and it's a good day. It's a good day for fans of Superman, DC, and the future that's awaiting us. So I'm out, and until next time, I'll see you when I see you.